Okay, again this is Engineer Haytham, and we are proceeding to create our model for the warehouse and G+1 Slab building using Tekla structures software. Okay, let us proceed. We'll proceed now to create the purlins. So we'll create points where the purlins will be positioned. So at any position, first point here, okay, the other point, the other side, there. Okay, this point, right click, move linear. Before moving, we have to change the working plane. So we'll go to grid number 1 and I am to view, work plane, select and locate the work plane here. So our X will be in the same direction of the rafter. Okay, going again to the 3D. Okay, now I'm going to move this point, right click, move linear by -200 in the X, not in the Y, clear, -200 as per our grids. Now move, and the other one will be moved. This one will be moved by 200 in the X direction. Okay, in between these 2 points, I'll create 5 points between this point and this point. Then we'll copy these points, copy from this grid to this grid. Okay. Then we'll go to create the purlins, select the beam, shift and select, then from here go to the light gauge profiles and select the C section 20203 by 70, apply, OK, and the color will select different color like this. Then click from this point to this point, then we'll see the section, go to grid 1, the section like this, then select and we will rotate to the front. We'll see how it will be. It should be back, modify, okay. Then the on plane should be from left, I think. Now it's okay, as you see. Now selecting this one, we'll make copy to the other points, from this point to this point, yes, and to this point to this point also, this point to this point, this point. Go to the 3D. Now our purlins created like this. Now we'll create the connection between the purlin and the rafter. We'll go here to the component, type here number 1, then scroll down to the called roll overlap connection. We'll select this one, then by clicking on the rafter, then the purlin, then the mid mouse button, the connection created like this. As you see, we can edit this connection. Okay, here we have two cases. This is if the cleat or the connection at the end of the purlin, and here the connection at the overlap. Here we select 100 mm from center of the cleat, and here 3 mm equal, let us make it 1.5 mm, the gap from the center to one side of the purlins. Okay, we go to the cleat and we'll select plate profile and go to the plate and let us select 200 by 8 mm, apply OK, modify, it will be like this. We can reduce the height of the plate a little bit, and we can make it 175, apply OK, modify. Now it will be like this. Then go to the bolts, and here we'll select standard of the bolts, and we'll use 16 dia, and here these selections, we'll select this one and the other one, select this one. Then the distances, here this distance, make it 25, and here 25, or let us make it 30 by 30, and here 25. Then here we have two rows at 50, and here also two rows at 50, and this is 45. OK, modify, so the connection will be like this. We can increase this one a little bit to 65, modify, apply OK. So this is the connection now. So the same, we'll click on the rafter, then the purlin, mid mouse button, rafter and the purlin, then the mid mouse button, like this. We'll create the other connections. Okay, select rafter, the purlin, mid mouse button. Okay, now we will copy these purlins to the other bay. So right click, copy from this grid to this grid to this grid, right click, interrupt. Then here we will delete this connection, select the others, we will create, because it is different connection here, delete. Then again select this connection, select this rafter, this purlin, and mid mouse button. The connection will be created like this, as you see. Again this rafter, this purlin, the second purlin, mid mouse button, and same procedure. We'll create the other connections like this. Very easy. Okay, now let us delete these purlins and copy again with the right connection. Press Ctrl button, select, then right click, copy from this grid to this grid. Interrupt, select this connection, rafter, this purlin, and mid mouse button. As you see, we have created the purlin connections. Now we'll select these purlins. Okay, and deselect the bracing, select only the purlins. Okay, we want to mirror these purlins to the other side. So now, before that, we have to again put our working plane at the origin. So going to view and work plane, select, and we have to position here like this. Okay, so now we can mirror these purlins. Right click, copy special, mirror, and clear from this point to this point. Okay, so like this, we see our purlin already mirrored like this. And if we go to any grid, like grid 1, we can see our purlin with the proper connection already created. Okay, now we need to copy these beams, strut beams at the mid-level, because the column is 7 meters, so we need intermediate beam. First, I will shift this cross bracing a little bit because it's created at the mid of the column. So select this cross bracing and right click, move linear, clear. I'll move it in the Y direction, 100, move, okay, it will be like this. So when I will copy this beam, there will be no intersection between this bracing and the beam, and we can check that also in grid 1 elevation. We can check this. It's still there are some intersections, so we will move this beam also a little bit to this side and go to the 3D, select these beams with the stop beam part, and then this one. Select these beams with the small part also. And now right click, move linear, clear. In the Y direction also, I'll move it like minus 50 mm. Move. So now the beam, if we check the grid 1 again, there is no intersection. As you see, there will be no intersection between the beams and the bracing. And this side also, I will do the same. Select this bracing, move special linear. In the Y direction, I move by minus 100. Move. and the beams, I move these beams select, then right click, move special linear, I move it in Y direction by 50, move, okay, then right click interrupt, now, so now we can copy these beams, select, we can copy it to the mid-level, the other direction, select both, and then we say copy special linear, clear in the Z direction minus 3600, press the mid height, copy, okay, so as you see it is like this. Okay, next we'll create the side purlin and Control I, go to the grid one. Okay, here we create point. I'm going to edit point at any position and select this corner, then select this point, move linear, clear, we move it in the Z direction by minus 150. Move. Okay, so the point will be here. Now from this point to this beam we will create the side purlin. Okay, select, copy linear in the Z direction minus 1000 and make 3 and copy. Okay, so we have create 1, 2, 3. Okay, then go to the 3D view, then click the beam, then I click on this point and this point, we'll create the side purlin like this. So by the same way here, using the same connection, we'll connect the purlin with the column. So again we'll go to the component number 1, and this is the same connection. Click the column and the purlin, then right click, will be created like this connection. Okay, then right click, interrupt, we will copy this purlin from this grid to this grid, right click, interrupt, then here just will delete this, then we'll use the same connection component, click the column and the 2 purlin, then mid mouse button, the connection created like this. Okay, then we'll copy this again, copy from this grid to this grid, right click interrupt. Okay, then we will select these 3 purlin and we will make copy from this point to this point to this point and to this point. Right click interrupt, right click redo. Then these are the side purlin have been created. Okay, then we'll select this side purlin of this side and we'll copy to the other side. Okay, using the copy special mirror and clear the coordinate, then click from this point to this point, then copy, expand, so the side purlin created on the other side. Next we will create the end wall columns on this space. So I'll just copy this column, right click, copy linear, I want 5000, okay, 5 meter, double click on this column. So this is the column. First we will increase the height up to 7600, I think. Okay, then we will rotate this column to the other side, so the rotation front will be to modify to be like this. Okay, then the connection between this column and this rafter will be using component 146 shear plate, simple. So click the beam, then the column, and the connection will be like this. Now this connection, let us edit. For the plate we will give thickness 16 mm, modify, then the bolts use standard A3 to 5M, then 5/16 to be okay, tolerance okay, 1.59, and modify like this. Now I will copy this column, copy the special linear by 6 meter in my direction, copy. Okay, now we will create the intermediate beams here between these two columns. So Control I, right click interrupt, Control I, go to elevation at grid number 1, then by clicking this beam, okay, we can click here this beam from the center of this column to center of this column, then again from this column to this column, then from this column to this column. Right click interrupt and go to the 3D. The beam will be like this. Now we will connect these beams with the columns. So first we'll start with this connection. Go to the component and here type 144. Select this one, end plate connection, click the column and then the beam, and this is the connection created like this. Okay, now let us edit this connection. So the plate I'll select 16, then the plate thickness, and go to the bolts. We select the standard, our standard, then 520 tolerance. Okay, select middle, and this distance keep it 40, and this distance 40, and we have 2 rows in between 70 mm, and this direction also 40 by 40, their distances, 2 rows with 70 mm. Modify, so our connection created like this. We want to increase the plate length, we can increase it from this one, we can make it 100 in between the 2 bolts, so the connection will be like this. And we can also modify this, make it 50, and this we make it 125, and this we make it 50, so the connection will be like this. The other side also we can, so this is modify, apply, okay. Then the same connection we use between this column and this beam, like this. Okay, the intermediate columns, we will select another component which is 142. So this is the two-sided end plate. Click and then click the column, then the 2 side beams, click the mid mouse button, and the connection will be created like this. Then the same connection will be created for the next column. So again the same component, click the column, then click the beams, then the mid mouse button, and the connection will be created like this. So up to this point we have created the steel structure for the warehouse, the full structure, including the columns and rafters, the main frames, and the in-between bracing, wall bracing, roof bracing, and the strut intermediate beams and the eave beams, and the purlins, and then finally the end wall columns with the intermediate beams. So the next step we will create the structure for the G+1 deck slab building. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and press the like button. Thank you for watching.